Good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you all to our webinar session today on how to embrace paperless quality management with the Nvolve Group. Apologies, it was meant to be my colleague Pauline McGrellis that was meant to deliver the session today, but she'd have to be somewhere else, so I'd had to come in and deliver the session. The loose agenda for today, I suppose, is we are going to see who the Nvolve Group is, who we are, and how we're helping our food clients. My name is Anne-Marie Doohan, and I will be taking you through this session here today. So the first item of the agenda is the Nvolve Group, who we are, how we're helping our clients. The second then item, which is what the webinar session is detailing today, is the quality management challenges. We've been working with companies now for over 12 years. And you know, we've kind of got a great in-depth details in terms of those challenges, and we will show you today how to embrace paperless quality management, and then also having the visibility of exposed areas and to increase compliance level within your site. I am then going to give you a live demo of the platform itself, just to show you how all of the different technology features kind of tie in, and it gives you one centralized location for all of your information. And then we're going to have a questions and answers session today. And don't worry if I don't get to your question. As I see, there's a lot of people on the session today. I will get back to each one of you individually as well. Just a bit of housekeeping before we start. You can just see the control panel is up in the right hand corner of the screen. You can just see I've also given you access to two documents there today. One is the PDF of the slides of the session we're covering today, and then the other is our compliance and risk management report that our senior management receive from the implementation of our platform on a monthly basis. Just a bird's eye view in terms of the high level compliance and risk management information that they get at the click of a button using our technology. And if you want to answer or ask a question throughout the session, you can just see where you can enter, and you can just see you can enter the question in there, and I can pick it up as we go along, or else I can get it at the end of the session. So just to give you a little overview in terms of who the Nvolve Group are, and a brief synopsis of the products and the solutions that we provide. For over 12 years now, we've been working with a lot of food, storage and distribution, packaging, general manufacturing, recruitment and financial services sectors. Some of you probably know us as Group Learner. So our Group Learner solution is our paperless compliance training and quality management solution. It's all of your compliance training matrix, all of your training, all of your SOP management, and the ability to easily manage all of that. We then have our Respawn Point solution, which is our interactive training keypad solution, where you can create your own bespoke courses like inductions, manual handling, onboarding, anything really that you're delivering currently using PowerPoint. You can turn that into our very own your very own interactive and engaging session using our Respawn Point solution. We then have our modern auditor solution, which is again your paperless and automated auditing platform. Again, you know, removing that clipboard and giving you the ability to streamline and create all of your audits on a tablet device. You have your vulnerability risk assessments in there. You can create all your internal audits, all of your client, you know, your Tesco PIU audit, your Marks and Spencer Sainsbury's. and manage then all of your corrective action and your non-conformances. We then have our BRC Manager solution, and this is our paperless quality and compliance management platform specifically for BRC certified clients. So if you're food, storage and distribution, and packaging, this platform is specifically for you and tailors for all of your learning, all of your document SOP sign off, and then you have an audit management feature in there as well, where you can again create your internal audits, your vulnerability risk assessments. There's predefined BRC audits in there as well. Then the next product that we have then is our Policy Governor, and this is the automated employee awareness and policy management platform. Again, ideal for your desk-bound worker, where you can, send them kind of policies, confirmation that they've read and understood the document, and then that filters then back to the online account, and that is those records then are saved within the online platform. The last product then that we have there is our CIH Online, and some of you may have run some of our courses before. All of our courses are now available via e-learning, via group and via tablet delivery format. So if you have an Android device or an iPad, you can bring down our course on that and complete that course. So it's all of your food hygiene, slip, trips and falls, manual handling. And then you can just see at the bottom of the slide then is our solution, and I suppose that it's the Nvolve Group Compliance and Risk Management solution. Again, some of our clients have brought these together into one, using multiple products, and then we are aware as well that each site has their own specific requirements. So if there's something specific that you need, we can do that bespoke development for you on that as well. So as a whole, the Nvolve Group try to, what we do as companies, we help our clients to build a robust culture, safety first, that filters from the senior management right down to the production worker on the factory floor, and to build that culture that everyone is responsible for safety within the site, and it's just important that it's not filtered, that it's quality manager that's responsible for perhaps maybe a BRC audit. I mean, the first clause within the BRC audit is that senior management commitment. So it's again getting the buy-in from everyone, be it you're the managing director or if you are a production worker on the floor. So it's all about building that compliance, quality and risk management solutions. So just a little snapshot of who we help, and you can see there's a multiple range of food companies there. There's recruitment companies. We also work with financial services and general manufacturing as well. The likes of My Park would be a multi-site operation where they log into the portal, you can see all of their sites. And again, we have single site users as well. We have Sundown Foods who've recently come on board, and they're based in Fontana in California. And then we have the likes of Friends First who would avail of the likes of our Policy Governor solution. So the next slide here then just covers, I suppose, the challenges and the current compliance training processes that are out there that you may currently be using it, and it all comes back to that, the mountain of paperwork, again, preparing for your audit, and what the unannounced audits now becoming the form. Your site has to be audit ready every day. In terms of your SOPs and work instructions, you might have an auditor come in and they may ask, show me, the previous revision of that document, and you as maybe the quality or the technical manager, you know that you have that file. It's upstairs in a folder in a filing cabinet, and that day when you go to find it, you just can't find it because somebody has moved it. So it's about getting that instant documentation at the click of a button, because again, what the paperwork, it can get misplaced. And again, that one document could then go down as a non-conformance on your audit, and again affect the grade that you get. In terms of all of your learning, again, the auditor could come in and say, show me the level 3 supervising certificate that trainee has completed. Again, you're trying to find that file. One of our clients did actually get a non-conformance because they weren't able to provide that level 3 certificate. And then again, you can just see the image here of the training matrix. And I mean, I've seen a lot of these where you have your trainee and the list of all of the learning or the document management that's been assigned to them. I mean, we have one trainee or one client in particular who has they have one site and they have 2,300 trainees, and there is 825 documents, SOPs, work instructions that they have on their account. And I mean, on an Excel spreadsheet, that's 1.9 million cells. So again, trying to manage that, and if you do an up revision of a document and then you have to change all of the trainees from green to red, and doing that up revision process again. So again, it's the headache that goes hand in hand with the compliance training matrix. The next item in terms of the challenges, in terms of your quality management system, is again the traditional audit process, where you go around the factory floor with your clipboard. Some of the audits you might have to do two or three times during the day, like your startup checklist. And again, the paperwork that goes hand in hand, the non-conformances that come out of that, and again, trying to manage all of that paper-based can be quite challenging. You can do all of your internal audits, the likes of your glass audit. Again, you kind of go around the floor, and then you need to take photos and try to manage all that. And then it's in terms of the accountability, then who is accountable for that? And again, with our platform, it sets up the foundation to do, again, find out who is responsible, and put a plan of attack to ensure that all the audits are compliant. Then you can complete your customer audits, as well your Tesco, your PIU audit, Marks and Spencer, Sainsbury's. Again, all of these audits can be completed using our technology on a tablet device. Then you have again the management then of your corrective actions and your non-conformances, and all of that can be quite challenging as well. Then you have where you're managing your supplier documentation. I mean, we have one client in particular who's 1,500 suppliers. They're previously managing this via email, via calling the suppliers, and again, if you don't have one of these certificates, they may be out of date. Again, that could go down as a non-conformance on your site. Again, making sure that you have all the information that's up to date on this as well is important. So the management, again, it's all coming down to managing all of that. Whereas with our platform, you can immediately log in, and at a bird's eye view, you can see immediately, well, I can see that the supplier in particular, that their BRC certificate is out of date. So again, you can put a plan around that to get the latest up-to-date document on that. So again, it's all about ensuring that you have the information up to date on that as well. So again, having worked with a lot of companies over the year, it's the same challenges in terms of the QMS and their compliance that keeps coming to the fore. So again, it's the issues with the paper-based processes. First one there being that there's so much paperwork, a workload surrounding document sign off and auditing. And again, when you take in all of your learning, all of your document SOP management, all of your audits, it's an extensive list of paperwork that you have to manage. And maybe sometimes the systems don't all speak to each other, so it's that difficulty and the duplication that goes hand in hand with that. I spend ages transferring updates and actions onto different spreadsheets for tracking. Again, you have different systems for managing different areas, your learning department. You then have your documents, which is your quality department again, and they trying to manage all of that. We don't know how compliant our site is, and I've yet to come across a company that I've worked with who actually knows exactly how compliant they are. I mean, the site normally knows, well, we do this for learning. We've done 500 people in food safety level 2. We've done documents, but again, they're not able to tell me exactly how compliant they are. I mean, I'm working with a client at the minute, and when they first started using their technology, they were at 5%. And this morning they're now at 68%, and their objective is for the end of March is to get to 75%. And I'll actually show you in terms of where you get this information from later on when I log into the platform. So I suppose it's a journey that we take really with our clients, and logging in and see where are the high risk areas that is causing my site from not getting to 100% or as close to 100% compliance. The next item there is I'm constantly chasing suppliers to make sure all the documents are up to date. And again, if you have 1,500 suppliers, trying to manage all those, their insurance certificate, is it on date? Their, if you need their BRC, their HACCP plan, trying to manage all of that can be troublesome as well. The next item there is we can't run simple reports showing what needs to be done. Again, because you're using your spreadsheets and other systems, they're not talking to each other, so it's very, very difficult to just run a simple report. And I'll within the platform today, I'm going to show you at the click of a button how you can run some of those. We can't find paperwork when the auditors are on site. Again, it's going back to you're looking for your trading certificate, and again, trying to find it then within your folder. It's Murphy's Law. Once you're trying to find it, it's impossible to find. We spend so long preparing for customers' BRC audits. I mean, we would work with, I suppose, pre-introduction of our technology, and the clients, trying to get all the information up to date. They're exhausted then come, the end of their audit, they need to take the week off. Due to the the amount of work that they have to encapsulate with that audit. And then the last challenge there then is we have to be more prepared now for audits, are becoming, unannounced, and they are becoming the norm now. So again, your site has to be audit ready every day, and by having a platform in place, that will allow you to immediately, log in and see every morning, well, where are my gaps in my learning? Where are my gaps in my document, my SOP, my work instructions? And that information then will allow you to be audit ready every day, and allow you to get to as close to 100% site compliance. So again, I suppose the solution around all of these issues is the Nvolve Group compliance and the risk management solution, which I am going to give you a demonstration of today. Also, so some of the items that we'll cover off today, and again, it's all around your compliance training matrix, and it's the employee training plans, the document management, the SOPs, our ready to go courses. Again, we have a full list of CIH, food safety, slip trips or falls, manual handling courses available. Again, it's all about automating and streamlining that compliance training matrix, and having the ability to create your internal audits, on a tablet device. They give you a wee look today as well at the audit schedule and the corrective action management and how that's all managed within our platform. There is the non-conformances. We'll give you a wee look as well at the supplier document management, and we also have a vulnerability assessment within our auditing module as well. Then I'm going to give you a wee look at the tablet app as well. Again, if you have an Android or an iPad, you can download our application, our Nvolve Group application onto that device, and you can create all of your internal audits. If it's a BRC audit you're doing, all of the predefined audits are on there. If it's a training course, you can complete that on the course as well. So again, it's the your full training matrix, access, on the spot training. If it's a new starter, you can hand them the tablet device and they can complete the training. And again, complete your audits and corrective actions, and capture the photograph as well. So in terms of the demonstration today, as much as I would love you to show you all aspects of the platform, we just don't have enough time to go through it all. So I've just listed a few items that I'm going to take you through. So for the platform, we're going to go into the document control, and I want to show you the learning management, and the audit the internal audit templates. I'm going to give you a wee look at the corrective actions and the supplier control. And then in terms of the tablet app, I'm going to show you the document sign-off, the audit template, the corrective actions, and the BRC self-assessments. And again, if it's your Tesco PIU audit or your Marks and Spencers or your Sainsbury, they're all you can complete them all on the tablet device as well. So I'm just going to log in again into the platform. It's a web enabled, internet enabled. So again, you can access your account from any internet enabled machine. And again, if it's just the one site that you have, you log in and you'll just get the one site. But if it's a multi-site operation, you'll get a list of all of your all of the sites, and you can log in from any internet enabled machine and get access to that information. So I'm going to go to my just get into the demo account today. So I'm going to open this, and so you can just see it's a tab structure. So again, when you log in, you would have your own logo here. So you can just see that it's a tab structure at the top. So again, this is all of your filing cabinets, or your audit manager, your learning manager, your document manager, all your SOPs, your work instructions. There's performance managers there, and then there's directories. So I want to go into directories first, because this is where you actually, it's a starting point, and this is where you build up all your data in terms of all of your employees, your managers, your suppliers, your contractors, your auditors, on here as well. So you may have other systems like your HR system that you can export the data from, and this is the starting point, and it builds up all of your contacts that are going into the platform as on that. We then have our performance management, and this is what our clients are using for performance reviews, performance appraisals, and they may do like a 6-month starter pack on that, where you sit down with a trainee and you can complete the reviews on the tablet device, or a yearly review. I am going to jump immediately then into the document management. And this is where you're going to manage all of your SOPs, all of your work instructions, And here, I'm sure that all of you have your own, again, your categories that you have, your QMS, your work instructions, your checklist again. So it's where you build up, again, we try to kind of streamline it in terms of the way that you're currently working, to enable you to easily streamline it then to get all of the information into your account. So if we just take the example here, so I just see an SOP, it's 5.7.4 and it's operational PCH kettle. I can see it's revision 2, it's been approved, and if I just click on the show detail, I can see immediately all of the information. So I can see it's revision 2.0. I can see when it was created. I can see the average training period is 30 minutes. And again, this information is quite valid because once you build up that information, you can put it off then in reporting, reporting in terms of your audits, particularly what the likes of the BRC audit, where they ascertain, well, how many hours of training. So if you tag that then within your SOP, your work instruction, there you can then pull off your average training period within the report as well. Then we have the average grace period. By default, our platform gives it 28 days. And again, it's just a period of time that you are going to give to the individuals to complete that training. And it just means that it'll actually go amber for 28 days. After the 28-day period, it will then go red, which affects your compliance score. As well, I can see then who the document owner is. I can see that there's a validity period on that of 1 year. I can then see that we're going to review that in 6 months, and then I can see that the document is live. The supporting files, then I can see then there's a PDF in there, and I can pull that file down. Again, if you're on the tablet device, you can pull that tablet device down. If you're doing an up revision of a document, you can pull that document down, and the trainee then has the latest version of that document at all times. On that, you can assign employees again by moving the trainees and available over then to the selected employees. You can assign your work groups. Again, your work groups as your job roles. Could be a division that you created. So once you actually say you created a job role, which is a meat slicer, and you've given that job role 20 items of SOPs, work instructions, and you've given them also some learning, the likes of food safety level 3. You actually build up that pack. It just means then when you assign that to that work group, and once you assign the trainee to the work group, their actual training plan then is automatically updated with, say, 50 items of SOPs and the learning on that as well. And then we can see in here then there's approval management. Again, if you have a document controller that takes ownership of that, you can assign approvers and here as well, where you know, if you have your managers and they walk through a process there then in terms of making that document live. And then you can see your previous revision. So what I mentioned earlier, an auditor might come on site and ask for the previous revision of this document. So I could see that the previous revision was 1.0, and I could see then this document. So every time you do an up revision of a document, it archives the original one, and again you have that information then at the click of a button. Also, when you up revise a document and say there's 5 trainees assigned to that, those 5 trainees then who were compliant on a platform now are non-compliant because they need to either be made aware or additional training required. And again, our platform does that automatically for you. You don't have to go into Excel spreadsheet to get that information from. So that's just an overview in terms of how to input your SOPs and your work instructions and your document. So what the tablet device then, what that does, it complements all of this information, and you can bring that all down then onto the tablet device. So that's an overview of again, our document management module. The next tab there then is our learning management, and this is our blended learning. You know, you can complete all of your courses that have been assigned to you. It could be your Respond Point courses, your inductions, your manual handling. Again, it's giving you the dashboard here. It gives you a bird's eye view in terms of, okay, where are we in terms of our compliance rate? And this is what I spoke about earlier, where I'm working with a client who, when they started, they were 5% this morning. I had a chat with them, and they're sitting at 68%, and this is all of the training and all of their documents. And now we're working with them now to hopefully get to 75% by the end of March. So I suppose this is the heart of, you know, how compliant are we. You can then immediately see the managers, the non-conforming managers, and you can see there's a bit of competition here between Sean Smith and Dawn James. There's one item between the both of them. So again, it's kind of giving accountability to, you know, what is causing my site to, in terms of non-conformance, and you can just see at a bird's eye view the non-conformance managers. What we find as well is if say Sean Smith is the top non-conforming manager in January, we always find that he, you know, in February he's not top on the agenda list then. You can then also see you have your top non-conformance, your courses, documents. So what are the top non-conforming items, training items, SOP management. So I can see immediately that I have it's the introduction to food safety manufacturing, and again you can pull off instantly, you know, instant reports on that, and so I can see immediately the trainees that are not compliant. I mean, the likes of Stephen Allen. If you find that, you know, there may be periods of downtime, the machine has broken down, that in that instance that you could actually sit Stephen Allen down. He could complete the food safety manufacturing either via e-learning, via group delivery, or on a tablet device. And again, it's all about trying to get these red cells from red to green. And having that, and then again, you have your expiry details at a glance as well, and you know, it gives you warnings from, you know, 30 days to 60 days to 90 days to see and put a plan of attack in terms of anything that is expiring. So it gives you that instant visibility in terms of how your site is performing and the high risk areas. I'm then going to go into an employee training plan, and again this is the compliance training matrix, and a lot of this is currently managed by an Excel document. So if I just go into trainee here, and I'm going into William Burke, and I can immediately log in, and I can see all of his personal information. You can upload a document or a photograph. I mean, you may have a site with 2,000 staff, and it's quite difficult to know each of them, but it's useful when you can log in. You can see a photo. You can see all of their personal information, the date of birth. There's a unique identifier there because some sites actually use an employee number as opposed to date of birth. Again, you can give, we've given William e-learning access, so he has a username and password, so when he logs in he just sees his own plan. So then I go to my managed training plan, and I can see immediately, I can see all of the external training courses that have been completed, the Respond Point, the bespoke induction training that they've done, the accident reporting rudder courses that they have done. Again, an auditor might say, well, show me the level 3 food safety that he's completed, so I can log into William's record. I can see that he's done the level 3 food safety. I can see all of the questions in terms of the assessment, all the questions and answers. He's got a score of 77%, and I can just see then a list of all of the questions and answers from that assessment, and then I can pull off the certificate at the click of a button as well. So again, it's having that information at hand for when the auditor is on site. And again, you're managing all your SOPs, your policies and your checklist again. All of that information is available then within the plan. So again, his plan is again, if it's an up revision of a document, the plan is automatically updated. And if you want to maybe add a course to his plan, say we give him access to COSH, I simply move that over then and I just save update, and his training plan then is automatically updated. And again, the work groups is, as I mentioned earlier, within the document section. So you say you create a work group, which is like your job role, like a meat slicer, and they have to have maybe 5 courses. They have to have 10 documents assigned to their plan. So that's 15 items. So you do that the once, and then once you actually assign the trainee to that work group, their training plan then is automatically updated. Then you assign the managers then to that work group as well, and that's where the manager then would slot that trainee then into their training plans. So that is the learning management side of things. The other thing then, which is quite important within this section, is the learning manager reports. And you can see you have a load of, again, you have your group courses reports, so you could have your course completion, so you could see, show me all food safety level 2 that's been completed in January, all of those are available. But the one that is quite popular that are kinds is the manager's matrix summary report. So I'm just going to click into that. So again, in terms of the manager, this is the trainees that fall within their remit. Yeah, so what I'll do actually is I will send each of you the manager matrix report after that. It's just not liking this here today. So I will email all of you with just the extensive list. It's primarily just a report that gives a list of all of the trainees across the top, all of the training events, the SOP management that are assigned, and it's what our clients use quite a lot, particularly on a monthly basis as well. So that is the learning management section. The next item then that I'm going to give you a preview of is the audit management, and again, this is the dashboard when you log in. So this is again your clipboard, and you're going around and you're completing all of your internal audits, if it's your BRC, your bespoke audit. So what our platform allows you to do is to automate and create a paperless environment that allows you to streamline that data and have all that information at hand. So just like the learning management section, with the audit management section, again, you have your bird's eye view. I can see corrective actions. I can see that there's been 25, 50, so there's 42 in total. I can see corrective actions assigned by a trainee. I can see that Alexandra has 7, and then you can see your audit template summary tables when the audits were completed, the last audit. So I could see a pest control audit, there were 6 of them completed in the last audit. And then I could see the outstanding corrective actions table as well. So again, you have all that information in a bird's eye view. You can, what I'm going to show you then is your internal audit template. Again, this is your PIU, your Tesco audits, and the likes of that, where you can create all of your audits. I'm just going to show you one that a client had sent me, the specification audit. So I'm sure this is information that is quite relevant to yourself, or you've seen. So it's a specification, you can see the audit description and the audit statement that you may have in Excel format or CSV, and that information then can be uploaded within our platform and put it within the platform as well. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to show you the tablet application. Obviously I can't show you the tablet itself, so I've taken some screenshots. So again, this is where you can create your internal audits, manage your corrective actions, create your link to non-conformances on it as well. So again, if you have an Android device, an iPad, again, or an Android, you can bring down our group learner application. So you can just see here when you log in, you have your audit management module. Again, where you create all of your audits and manage all of that. You have your learning management, where you can create the likes of your courses, and if you can do, if it's a new starter, you can get them to do a food safety or a health and safety course. Again, your document manager, this is where you manage all of your SOPs. If there's an up revision of a document, you can then go onto the factory floor with your tablet device and get that instantly signed off, and then there's performance management as well. So if I go into your learning manager, again, your training plan, your manager matrix reports, which I'm going to send you after this session as well, your training courses and your work group reports. So again, the tablet primarily, it complements, so all the information that's within the online platform, you can stream it all there and then on the tablet device. So I can go into an employee, again, you can see the photos, the same information. I can see the full compliance, the training that has been assigned to their plan, and the status within that tablet. Again, if there's an up revision of a document, user manager, can go, this is Stephen Allen, you can go up to Stephen Allen, get Stephen Allen to say the document that he's read and understood it, or maybe there's an additional training that he has to do. And then you get the manager to sign it as well, and then if there's any other new supporting documents that is available, and you can bring that down on the tablet device. Again, if you have a new starter, or if you have an individual, you can get them to do the likes of a full allergen and labeling awareness course. Once that's completed, then it's back up then to the online account, and that's stored then for your auditing requirements and proven compliance. The tablet device then around the auditing, again, you can complete your audit templates, see your audit schedule, what's been completed, what's due. You can then see all of your corrective actions, and then there's the self-assessments, and there's good and words audits that completed on the tablet device as well. You can just see here the audit schedule. You can see there's pest control audit, and it's 100%. Again, a quick view in terms of the schedule. You may, in some instances, you may start an audit, and you may have to come out of it, so you can just see it's underway. You might have an auditor on site, and you have to take priority to that. So when you log back in again, you start off from where you left off in terms of the statements. Then the internal audit templates, again, you can see, you can, if this is you can create all of your own customer audits, or again, if it's a glass audit, you can bring them down on here and complete that on the tablet device. Then if you delve in deeper, then you can do your audit review, which is if there is a non-compliance, it can be then linked to your corrective action. So say if it's a glass audit and there's a piece of glass broke, then you can take a photo of that glass once it's been replaced, and then that tags that then as you know, you can create the corrective, the root cause analysis of that on that as well. Then you can see your corrective actions, which is again where, you know, you please, you know, replace a bulb within the open warehouse, and you can tag that then in terms of the risk profile that fits within, whether that then is open or closed. So if you take a photo of that glass that has been broken within the status update, that you can mark that audit then as being closed, which is the completion then and the root cause analysis that you can, so you can just see here then the change in the bulb. Then you can pull down again all of the BRC predefined audits are available within our platform as well, and you can pull them down and complete them then on the tablet device as well. And again, it's all kind of linked to your assessment statements and then the corrective action. So again, it's all about removing that you know, clipboard and that paperboard, and you know, having that information at hand on that as well. So that's a again, as I can't show you the tablet, it's just a little overview, a little snapshot in terms of how the audits are completed on the tablet device as well. So I'm not to even just see if it's corrective actions. So, no. So yeah, so we've a little bit more room here. The internet has seemed to has come back up again. So again, as I mentioned, where you can create your own internal audit template, so you can create all of this and here, and again, as I showed you in the Excel document, you can create a new audit template. And rather than you having to type it all in, you will browse and find it on your machine. Let me just see. So it's a specification, and I can do a preview. And that then brings down all of, rather than you having to type all the statements in. If you have it in the Excel document, you can bring that down and then you can save it. Then you can go with your tablet device and complete the audits then, and then that information, once it's completed, it syncs back up then to the online account. So that is the internal audit. You can then do your audit schedule, where you can log in and immediately kind of see at a glance well what's been the audit date, and you can just see here there's a pest control audit was completed on the 8th of the 2nd, and then it will do the glass audit. You can go in and you can just see the actual statements, and then within the tablet device we actually see the 6 bulbs in the reception areas tied to non-conformance. You can then delve in deeper then and actually show that image. So that's the image that was saved on the tablet device that was uploaded earlier on that as well. So again, it's all tying that information in together. The non-conformances, then again you can create these direct. If I go into this first one here, I can see that the manufacturer of peanuts, the actual site status closed, supply to Aldo Commodities, has no third-party accreditation. I can put in the items, the product code, the batch code, and just the information on that non-conformance that has come from an audit. And then you can also put in there the root cause analysis, which is quite important, particularly to try and ensure that it won't happen again. Then you have your supporting files that you can download there, and then if there's any corrective actions that have been assigned to that non-conformance as well, all of those are kind of stored for your audit trail as well. And then the last thing I wanted to show you in the Audit Manager report, again, is just the reporting mechanisms that are available within the template as well. So if we do your internal audit template, so again, at the click of a button, hopefully this report will download for me. So you can see this is your glass and brittle plastic, and I can see the audit statement, what was compliant, not compliant. And again, all of those are then available for you at the click of a button on that as well. Again, if you have your BRC audit, I'm sure you're familiar with the vulnerability summary report, which has just come into effect in the BRC issue 7. So this is where you actually assign your ingredients in terms of the risk of likelihood and likelihood of detection. And so immediately I can see the ingredient code, the material name, the supplier name, and list then all of the items. And then immediately I can see the high risk areas, which are in green. I think it's over 21. So you can see the high risk areas. So sea salt again is at high risk. So again, all that information then is available at the click of a button. So that is the auditing side of things. So guys, I'm just looking at the time here, and I know I've gone over a bit. So I'm just going to go and check. I can just see loads of questions coming in here. So I have one here from Janet. How has this application been perceived by BRC auditors and retail auditors? Janet, the feedback we get from our clients is that the BRC, they actually love our platform. Because it gives them all the information that they need at the click of a button, and also for the client themselves, it's good for them as well because they spend less time on their site because they're not rushing around looking for information here, there, and everywhere to get it all in one centralized database. Hope that answered that for you. Mark, how long does it take to get set up? I know, guys, what I've shown you today in terms of the directories, your documents, your learning management, and your audits. It does look quite extensive, but once you actually set up, you're assigned to one of our technical account managers, and they actually work with you hand in hand to try and make it as seamless as possible. So you're going to have a lot of the information in different formats. So you have, your employee information in, your HR system. So again, that can be extracted easily and imported. So you're looking at maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then your audits, again, I mean, you already have this in Word or Excel document. And again, I've shown you today how easy it is to import that to streamline down on the tablet device. And then again, your documents as well. You're going to have all this. So there's a wee task at hand, to get that. But you're talking about 2 or 3 weeks. So I hope that has answered that question for you, Mark. And then I have another one here, and it's from Sarah. Can you call and email me with a breakdown of the cost? I can, Sarah. I can send you on a price list, and again, anyone that wants to get that information, I can forward that on to you as well. So that is the questions, and the final slide here. So again, I'd like thanks again for joining us on the session today, and apologies just for the small technical issues that we faced. We're actually hosting another webinar next week on the same topic. and it's on how to embrace paperless quality management with the Nvolve group. It's Wednesday, the 1st of March, and it's a later time if you're in Ireland and the UK, it's 5 p.m. And it's primarily to accommodate our Canadian and American friends. Some of them wanted to be here today, but some of them would have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to make this session. So we're hosting another webinar next week. On the same topic as well. I mean, if any of your colleagues want to make that, you can get the information on the nvolvegroup.com/webinars, and we can send you out an invitation on that. What I'll do as well is I'm going to send you the manager matrix report that I didn't get a chance to show you today, and I think I've included in the slide deck that I've run to today. This webinar is recorded, so if you'd like to get a recording of this as well. And the other thing is that there's just a wee survey after this in terms of next steps, in terms of what you would like to do, if you wouldn't mind filling that in for me as well. So without further ado, I would again like to thank you for your time today, and we hope to see you on one of our upcoming webinar sessions in the near future. Take care and God bless.